Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Mordred Viking. I'd like to welcome you to this game of Hearts of Iron. We're going to be showing you Götterdämmerung, particularly initially with Hungary, and then later on we're going to bring in another person to show us a little bit of Germany. So who are you and what do you do?
I am Jonathan, and I am the developer for Hungary.
Okay, so why don't we get started? Let's load up Hungary. Let's take a quick look at the 1936 start details, and we'll get into it. And yeah, I'm seeing a couple of comments about the helmet. I got this one specially. I'm working on Belgium, and this is a Belgian helmet. I just wanted to wear it because it looks cool and I'm on stream.
I mean, it is a good helmet, so... Yeah.
Why do all Swedes look the same? Shocker, I'm not Swedish.
I may be Swedish, but he isn't, so I don't know about that one.
All right, so Hungary. What can you tell us about Hungary at the start?
Well, first of all, Hungary starts in a very bad position when it comes to their military, especially thanks to this national spirit. And apart from that one, though, they have some pretty good stuff.
So what exactly does Treaty Trianon do? Like, what are the negatives here? You got army experience gain, you got air experience, recruitable population, factory output, military industrial organization research, funds game reduction, and then a whopping 50% military factory construction speed.
Switch to the game scene.
Right, yes, that's a good idea, isn't it? Let's do this. I'm not used to not having a producer. I'm doing this myself.
You need to get better at streaming, Gareth.
No, I'm not a professional, everyone. Definitely not.
No, not at all. But you can see the spirits now, at least, so that's good.
Can you get a Belgium sneak peek? You can get that in a couple of weeks when we release the dev diary for that.
Yeah, you have the guy over here already, you know? You have your Belgian
You have
soldier.
a sneak peek. You got the helmet, so
Yeah.
there you go. All right, so Treaty of Trianon, that is the starting situation. So let's quickly talk about how you get rid of that.
Yeah, so basically there are multiple ways to do it, obviously. We have the political trees over here. Multiple ones of these have different ways to get rid of it. For example, you have the Renounce the Treaty of Trianon here in the historical and fascist path for the fascist king. You can also get rid of it by having a coup in your country through this fascist path here. And then there will not be much fuss about the Treaty of Trianon anymore if you happen to go into civil war, because you'll have bigger problems to deal with. Then you can obviously go for the diplomatic approach and try to renegotiate the treaty, which nowadays will not completely remove it, but will instead replace it with a much less bad spirit.
Which you can then also remove in time, I guess.
Yes, you can also remove that. So you can get a less bad spirit here that you can then, for example, remove with the Renounce the Treaty of Trianon in the historical branch.
And no, Honzo, this is not pre-recorded, and there's your proof.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what people most want to be shown off, but I mean, Austria-Hungary would usually do it, I think.
Who wants to see Austria-Hungary? I mean, come on. Like, everyone just wants the rote fascist Hungary with, of course, Horthy. Although, in which path does he get the crown?
Oh, he gets it down here when you establish a new dynasty.
Ooh.
We won't be showing off this portrait today, though, because it's still work in progress.
Yeah, and that is a good reminder that this is all still a work in progress. We are just under a month away from the release, and we're still working hard here behind the scenes to make sure everything is awesome. So, let's take a look at the other starting national spirits, just so we can get through those, and then we can take a look at the branches properly.
Yeah, so basically, Hungary, due to this treaty here, cannot trade with people through the international market. However, this the trade treaty here gets around that, especially for Germany. So thanks to the trade treaty that the Prime Minister Gyula Gumbas here signed, they can still trade with Germany specifically. It does, however, tax their political power gain a bit, because it very much removes their autonomy and makes them basically dependent upon German economics.
Right, and does Germany have a way of exploiting that a little bit more in the future?
Yes, as may be seen in a future dev diary, they may have a decision to steal the money that Hungary owns.
Oh dear. Okay, so what's next?
What's next? We have this here, the Hungarian National Defense Association, which is a paramilitary group, also yet again founded by Gyula Gumbas. He has a lot of influence in the country. And basically, this is a positive national spirit, except obviously for the fact that it gives you some fascism drift, which, I don't know, maybe you don't want to be fascist.
So would you get rid of that then in the non-fascist paths, or is it something you just have to deal with?
In the historical path here, for example, historically, Gyula will die on a visit to Munich, and you will have to decide how to deal with this paramilitary group, which does have some shreds of loyalty towards Horthy because they, as well as him, are anti-communist. And obviously, depending on what you do with that, you could potentially strengthen them further down here if you have kept them around.
Mm-hmm.
Though that will come with some other malices,
Sure.
basically. And they may also plan to do a military coup and kick you out of the country if you try to go too, well, liberal for their liking.
Oh dear.
And then, lastly, we have the Levante associations, which are, well, they are paramilitary associations that are mainly made to train the Hungarian youth in how to fight and partake in combat. Usually in less actually on the field things and more of a support role, but you know, more Hungarians know how to fight thanks to these.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you want to give us a quick rundown of the different political branches and like maybe the cool things you can do in each of them?
Sure, I can do that. I guess starting from right to left.
Sure.
First of all, here we have the Republican branches, as I call them, because these are the only ones where you fully get rid of the monarchy in any sense. You go down, prepare, and then have a civil war, after which you can choose to elect a president. It could be any of two communist presidents, and you get their path here. Or it could be a democratic president, in which you will open up elections and go down these paths here.
And what's the like outcome of each of those paths? Like what's the broad objective?
The outcome of this path here is to basically try to restore a, well, kind of greater Hungary, the pre-Trianon borders, but as a communist, reliving the wars of aggression they waged just after the First World War. The middle one here is about strengthening yourself militarily and economically by getting closer ties to the Comintern and using their aid to basically just kind of get everything for free if possible. Because Stalin is very good at just helping you out in that case. And in the democratic branch, you can either choose between making a big faction, the Danubian Federation, in which you can also unlock the Austro-Hungarian Joint Focus Tree. In the Austro-Hungarian Joint Focus Tree, of course, you and your allies or puppets, depending on the path you've gone, can buff each other. And the other part in the democratic tree is about reconquering your old lands, because, shocker, not a lot of Hungarian politicians were happy with having more than half of their landmass stripped away at the end of the Great War, and a lot of them, even Democrats, wanted it back.
Makes sense. Can you go into a little more detail about the Danubian Federation Joint Focus Tree? Because I think that's going to be of interest to several people.
Sure thing. We can do this, actually.
Great new console command. I
Yes.
love that one.
So now we've reloaded the tree. We can turn this off for now. We have it appear down here. Basically, once you have another person in your faction or as your puppets, you can initiate it through this one. And there are three main parts to it. There is the military part, the economic and research part, and the industrial part, with them all coinciding and ending in ways to just strengthen yourself or try to integrate your puppets or allies. This is an alternative way to try to reform Austria-Hungary as the tag that we have pre-Götterdämmerung.
So how is that different from if you did this from the Austrian perspective?
Basically, Austria also has ways to do the Austro-Hungarian Empire and the Danubian Federation, though the main differences apart from this thing is obviously Austria has some different focuses where they can invite other people to the faction. Meanwhile, Hungary has a more centered about trying to protect the region in specific and then fight off any major powers that may want to intervene.
Okay, so it's a little bit more centralized around Hungary rather than necessarily building the others up.
Yes.
Okay.
For example, this one doesn't have a thing that leads into a potential European Union, which the Austrian Danubian Federation does, because they are more outward looking.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So what are the other branches available?
So you have obviously the regency here, where you decide that though you don't want to abolish the regency, you don't also want to have a king, because they don't want to have a king. Horthy doesn't like that. So you can either choose to just reinforce his reign and kind of go with a eternal regent as a dictator of the country, eventually working your way down to trying to reclaim the lands of old and either going with Italy or going with the Germans here. Or you can have Gyula Gumbus try to assume power from Horthy and steal it from him, in which he will power up different fascist organizations and paramilitaries in an attempt to hold a march on Budapest similar to the March of Rome.
And speaking of the marches, I've got a question here. Will the Hungarian coup in 1944 be added?
The Hungarian coup in 1944, which I would assume is meant by the German coup. There is an event chain about the Operation Panzerfaust, which can lead to Hungary becoming puppeted by Germany or being invaded by Germany. But it's not a major part of the content.
Right, especially not as Hungary, because
No.
you're focusing more on Hungarian things.
Yeah.
Another question there is this just an expansion of their new features as well? I mean, generally, when we say expansion, that means with features. Otherwise, it's a content pack or a country pack. So yes, there are two major features coming with this, which are special projects and raids, but we'll be talking about that in a different stream. In fact, I think last week was special projects.
Last week was special projects, yes.
So if you check out the VODs on the on this channel, you will be able to see those.
Yeah.
Cool. Onwards.
Yes. We have the thing that I think a lot of people will like, which is saying, yes, regency is cool. However, we need a king, and we need to decide on one fast. There are two main ways to go about this. Either you do as the Little Entente has told you explicitly to do, which is don't have a Habsburg on your throne. We really don't want that to be a thing. In which you can choose a non-Habsburg, and you have a few options. You can invite some foreigners and hope that they want to take the throne for you. You have Friedrich Franz von Mecklenburg, with whom you can basically join the Germans or the Italians and expand Hungary to its natural borders with him instead of having Horthy or a fascist. Or you can go for the democratic king, a Swede, and you can get a bunch of scientists who worked historically on the Manhattan Project back to your country.
But is Sweden OP?
Of course.
Okay, that's all right then. Carry on.
There may also be a secret decision in this path if you have him as your absolute monarch to core Sweden and form the United Kingdom of Sweden and Hungary. That's just something I'm saying.
Okay, fair enough. So for everyone there that likes building monarchist unions, there you go. You can do
Yeah.
Kingdom of Hungary, Sweden.
Yeah, and that's not the only weird thing here, because you can also do the Kingdom of Hungary, Romania here.
I mean, that one makes a bit more sense. They're at least next to each other.
Yes, and that's a historical proposal from the interwar period, though that was proposed to be under the Romanian king, which Hungary promptly rejected.
Nice.
Because they did not want that to happen. They also have decisions here to try to hold referendums similar to some of the ones that happened after the Treaty of Versailles to regain some of their territory. For example, the Schleswig plebiscite, which led to only half of it going to Germany.
Okay. So this is a more peaceful way of rebuilding the empire then?
Yes, you cannot regain your extremities of the old Hungarian state, but you can regain a lot of the main parts that have a bit higher of a Hungarian population in them still. And then you have the third part, which is we haven't found a king and we're not allowed to pick a Habsburg. And Horthy has decided that he may not be Catholic, which is required usually to be a king of Hungary, but sometimes you have to go against the rules.
Yep, and then make your own. I mean, that's what being a king is all about.
Yes, the kicker here though is that Horthy was popular as a regent, but not popular as a king.
Mm-hmm.
People had offered him to become king multiple times, but he had rejected because he knew that that was not what people actually liked about him, basically. So you do also have the option to crown his much more popular son as king of Hungary, István Horthy.
Mm-hmm.
In this path, you can go down and strengthen your state. Eventually, you have to crack down on some fascist movements that might want to oust you from power. And then you have the option here to join the Allies, actually, with the Anglo-Hungarian alliance. And then in the end, you can also try to reclaim Greater Hungary with a choice here of we'll work against communism, which is go against the Soviets or any other major communists in Europe specifically, or do your own version of the Portuguese Fifth Empire focus.
Which is?
which is the focus where you have no friends ever and everyone hates you and you want to conquer the world.
Okay,
The
so
World Conquest run.
World Conquest focus. So World Conquest is Hungary, everyone.
Yeah.
I know that we have several streamers and YouTubers in here, so video ideas.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
exactly. You can go for your World Conquest where you're not allowed to join factions. Every country in the world gets minus 100 trade relations and opinion of you, and you get a bunch of claims and war goals and some decent bonuses. I think that could be a fun run to do.
Cool.
Yeah. And then we have the probably most anticipated one.
Nah, nobody cares about this. I mean, Habsburgs, overrated.
Yeah. If you choose to go with a Habsburg,
If you have to.
yes, if you have to, the Little Entente will demand that you promise them peace. If you do that, you will get a timed malus to recruitable pulp, justify war goal time, and do war support. And if you refuse their demands, then they will all get puppet war goals on you. So if you feel like you can hold your ground, then good on you.
Sorry, we're just getting a thing. Is this new music? Can you just check the music player? I don't know if this is one of the new ones.
No, this
No,
is the
it's
Winter
not
War.
one.
There is a lot of new music, and it's awesome.
Has it
The best
been
music?
implemented yet?
Should be.
Ooh,
Yep, they say it's here.
ooh.
Look at these guys.
Yeah, shall we play one of the Hungarian ones just while we have this going in the
we
background?
can-
Because I have to say, the music for this is really good. Slightly biased opinion, of course, but it's good. Can anyone hear Jonathan clearly? I can turn Jonathan up a little. Here we go.
Yeah.
And you'll need to tell us, because I don't have my headphones on, because this is too big.
Exactly. So we have to get that from you guys.
Yes, so please, audio feedback. We need to know it. Okay, so Habsburgs. Let's do this.
Yes, you have two choices. You have Otto von Habsburg, the old one that you've had before, and you have a new guy who's coincidentally the old Habsburg. I know. However, he was the last actual monarch, kind of Hungary. Not really. He was a palatine. He was in charge in place of Charles I, and he was a field marshal for Austria-Hungary during the Great War. He fought both during the Brusilov offensive, as trying to defend against it, and he fought during the Italian campaign as well. So he can choose to basically use his knowledge of war and his connections to old veterans to try to build up the army again. He also has some stuff to try to, for example, purchase Burgenland back from Austria,
Mhm.
because take advantage of their great economic crisis. They can get paid for giving you a small sliver of land. That's good. Then he can try to take on the mantle of some of the old great kings of Hungary, the conqueror kings, and basically just say, I want to make Hungary great again. That's his thing. And he also has access to these ones down here, the Fifth Empire, if you don't want to do it with a Horthy.
Okay. So two different routes of expansion there.
Yeah,
Major expansion.
major expansion, yes. Now then.
Sorry, before we go on to that, we've had a couple of questions about can we show off the new regions? Yes, we'll do that once we've done this.
Yes,
I just want to acknowledge we will. I've seen it.
we can most certainly do that, yes. But first, we have Austria-Hungary. And here, you can get Otto, you can become the Transleithian Kingdom, you can enable the joint focus tree, and you can demand Austrian restoration. As you can see here, we've added a lot more tooltips to be able to explain to you what makes them reject or accept your demands. On average, if you get to this point while just not absolutely just deleting all your units and stuff, they will accept in general. That's just how it's going to be. And similar here, they will accept if you basically just play remotely well.
Define remotely well.
I mean, build enough divisions, do at least a few of the things that it says here, and that should just do it very easily.
Okay, so you do have the list that you can work your way through.
You
so
have,
you
you
can see.
have these lists that show you what you need to do. It's not that difficult in that case, I would say.
Okay.
Then you have, over to the left here, you have factions. And obviously the biggest and best one is to just trust family, who cares about anything else, to be honest. And but if you don't want to do that, you can try to restore the Grand Alliance and seek an alliance with the UK. Or you can seek an alliance with an online Germany if that's appeared. However, if you get rejected from any of these are uncompleted, locked, and this is automatically completed.
Love that new system that we've been doing. That's so helpful.
Yes, so if you get rejected, then you do truly realize that only family can be trusted. Because others just betray you. And that means you can try to instate multiple different monarchs on different thrones. You can demand that the Carl Pius ascend in Spain, or that Maria ascend in Mexico, for example. And you can restore the Sikh riflemen, and you can, well, if you control Ukraine, you can release a puppet kingdom there under Vasil Vishviani. Here you have more of the central conquest parts, trying to reclaim the old empire. Multiple different things here to both core things and get war goals. Also having the option to try to enforce the title that the Habsburgs hold of Kings of Jerusalem, which they haven't really had a good claim to, but they've said they had it, so I mean, always something. You can also, similar to the French focus of dividing up Germany, do this and just absolutely decimate Italy if you want to.
Oh wow, yeah, reverse Risorgimento.
Yes.
Interesting.
And you can integrate Bohemian and Austrian industries, which can give you factories, but also unlock some of their Mayos for you.
Oh, so you actually get access to them?
Yeah, you can take some of their Mayos. And you can also get their designers if you don't have AAT.
Nice.
You can also get bonuses here, and you and your vassal country leaders can get blessed by the Pope, which is a trait now.
What does that do?
It gives them extra stability and stuff based on their legitimacy being higher.
Cool.
You can also do this, where you become the old Austria-Hungary cosmetic tag, which was before, and you unlock decisions to annex your puppets that you've been getting throughout this branch, and thus also stealing some of their army leaders, etc. Coring them.
Is it theoretically possible to have two Austria-Hungaries, one made by Austria and the other made by Hungary?
No, because these require you to, first of all, not be a subject, and usually you can't go down this branch unless you've managed to get the other one as a subject.
Okay. And what if Austria takes Otto? Can you also get Otto? Or
if
do you have to go the other way?
Takes Otto before you do this focus, you can choose to do whichever and then either go down here or go down any of these.
Okay.
If they take Otto after you've done this, but before you've done this, then you will have to go down here.
Okay.
But you do still have a Habsburg choice in that case.
Gotcha. And how many Habsburgs are now in the game?
I think I counted it to 10 in terms of people, like country leaders you can have, and obviously the victory point known as Habsburg as well.
And I will say it is also possible to get a Habsburg in Belgium. Not as the country leader, but it is possible to get one in Belgium.
Yes,
through sneaky means. I'm not going to tell you how. That's something for you to discover.
Yeah, that's one of the fun secrets of discovering the game.
Okay, so as we talked about earlier, let's take a look at the new regions. Oh, we still need to do the branches. Let's do the regions first, and then we'll talk about the other branches.
So, the regions, we have states, for example. Well, you can see here, Hungary is divided into 5 states at the start of the game.
How many was it before?
It was 3.
Okay.
It was Transdanubia, which is both of these, and this was 1, and then these 2 were the same. But it has now been split along the rivers to ensure that there aren't any, border gore issues in that department. So Romania can actually claim up until the river all the way if they want to. Make for some good, fun Romanian irredentism gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Some state names has also been changed according to, both comments and historical accuracy, basically.
Was it Hungary that we had to get the font changed for?
We tried, but we couldn't.
Ah.
We couldn't manage. The game's engine is way too old for that, sadly.
Fair enough. Because, I do remember that was kind of causing our artists to tear their hair out.
Yes.
Trying to work out how to do this.
For the most part, as you can see here, this victory point here has the special letter here, the long
Mm-hmm.
But we cannot have that in any other font except for this one.
Gotcha. All right, let's go back to the branches, although I'm aware that we have about 5 minutes left. So let's do a quick overview of the common branches, and then let's show off some of the models and characters.
Yeah. So basically, we have industry here on the left. The old choice that started your political branches is basically just interventionalism or no interventionalism, and that's kind of the same. However, it's been moved here to the industry.
Mm-hmm.
You do then have a bunch of things here, like the Hungarian Academy of Sciences, which gives you a research slot, which you might want. And it also unlocks decisions to increase your research speed a bit as well. And you have one final one down here as well. Then there is the GEAR program, which has a bunch of decisions that it unlocks that allow you to take more industry, basically what would be focuses, but at the same time as doing these other focuses. For example, you can do the Götterdämmerung test here, unlock some high command, some quote-unquote motorized units with bicycles in them and light tank recon, or something else like the Schickel command, for example, or the assault gun stuff, which you have here, at the same time as doing these decisions, which would count as kind of focuses in their effects.
And just to focus on the assault guns for a second, you created a new MIO for them, didn't you?
Yes, I can show you it
Yeah,
here,
please
actually.
do. Because these are kind of cool.
Yes, you have the Mavag Army Division, which is an assault guns manufacturer which focuses on SP artillery specifically.
So yeah, if you have Arms Against Tyranny and Götterdämmerung, you will now have access to these. And we also have this for Germany, so German Stugs, for example, are now an actual unit.
Yes, exactly. They can get their own bonuses and benefits from this.
No, just to correct you guys, it's not Habsburg Belgium. I said a Habsburg in Belgium. I specifically didn't say he was a leader.
You can get a Habsburg character in Belgium,
Yes.
not a country leader.
There you go. I just want to make sure that that's clear.
Yes. And yeah, do you have a bunch of cool, interesting choices here? You can choose between getting a pretty big research speed bonus for air here if you want to, or you can do focuses here that will strengthen and give bonuses to your allies instead if you want to, in the joint air stuff. Other than that, you obviously have your funny little navy stuff, which usually won't be available.
I did see some people asking about the infamous Hungarian Navy, so what do they have going on for them in that department?
In that department, obviously we cannot represent riverboats that much in the game. We have some attempts at it, but nothing really, like no gameplay mechanic around it at all. So in general, it will have to be once you have some kind of coastline, you can get stuff.
This depends on getting a coast, so there's one of your objectives. Get a coast.
You do, however, have one navy focus that can be taken without a coast, which is sailing the Danube, which can give you convoys and unlock a chief of navy despite you not having a coast.
I mean, you got to make the preparations.
Yes, because Kalman Hardy led the river navy, basically, and they had convoys and stuff sailing up and down the Danube, so they can do that anyway.
Hungarian Habsburg expansion pack when I kind of would say that this is it.
This is the Habsburg expansion pack. You have no idea how many weird Habsburg sites we were on.
Yes, it was a few.
Yes. Yeah, I think in general that's kind of it, right?
Okay, we got 2 minutes left, so let's speed run the new generals and characters, advisors, and maybe a model or two.
Yeah. Basically, we have the old Hungarian models here. We have gotten new paratrooper models. We've also gotten some militia models, which I can show off actually. So we do this again. And we do this one and this one.
Can you create Burgundy with Leon de Grelle in Belgium? Maybe.
So we have a few militias here. We have, for example, the Ragged Guards, which have some pretty interesting different kinds of models they can use, different clothes.
So many good ones, that's cool.
Yeah, they have a bunch of different, they're meant to look, well, ragged. And then you have this model, which is based on the Lenin Boys, a communist paramilitary group, part of the Hungarian Soviet Republic, which are the main militia that you will be re-establishing if you go down this part of the communist tree. And maybe the Lenin Boys can be back in town, who knows?
What about some generals?
Yes, generals, we have quite a few actually. There are a whole load of them.
Slower. Let people actually absorb who's here.
Yeah.
Any outstanding people that you want to
I mean,
give a
I
shout
guess
out to?
an interesting thing to see here is the fact that there are some unique icons that show up for these. For example, the fascist sympathizers will, in the event of fascists splitting up the country, either through a civil war or through coups, or if you need to secure the loyalty of your troops with the Habsburgs and make sure that only loyal people remain, fascists will go. You will not keep your fascists. And the Vitesse are usually loyal to semi-monarch-esque stuff, and there are a few focuses that can boost them.
Okay.
Such as the Bolster the Other Vitesse, which gives attack and defense to every Vitesse.
Wow, and that's what, 12, 13 people?
Yes, basically.
Nice.
And then you have the Honor the Great War Veterans, which does the same. Reason being that both Joseph August von Habsburg and Horthy were leaders of the Vitesse.
But not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
Okay.
He was post. Horthy was during the war. Joseph August was after the war.
Okay.
When Horthy couldn't be anymore. Basically.
Admirals.
At the start of the game, you ain't got no one.
What?
I'm sorry. However...
I mean, you do. He's sitting there on that front page.
Yeah, you do. If you do this focus, so reinforcing Horthy's reign. Or if you do this focus and go any monarchist path, he will be an admiral.
Okay.
The only ways he won't be an admiral once you start doing things is if you really try to oust him and undermine the admiral, or if you go communist or democratic through any of the revolution branches, because then he will join the other side of the civil war. And I see about disbanding militias. Thing about these is that obviously you cannot edit them, as you can see here, but you can train them, and they may not be disbandable. However, you can only only get them through specific focuses that you're not at all required to take if you don't want to. So they are by no means a thing you are required to take anywhere. And then you can choose to train them if you want to.
You can always use them as garrisons or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. You can guard. You might be good to guard, you know, certain facilities, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there is certainly a potential for some research to be done in a few different specific locations that may possibly be targeted by specific units.
Yeah, and potentially they could actually lower the success chance of these enemy operations.
Indeed.
By being there.
Okay, do you have any new tanks, planes?
We have a few new models. I don't know what's easiest to show off, but we have also some starting actually models or designs you can use as well.
Do you have these on the tech tree? That's probably a better way of showing it.
That's a good question. Do they show up here? We have the Daimler Marienfelde here. We have new mechanized models actually. Both the early and later mechanized have their own both 2D and 3D art, which will show up in the game. And we have new 2D art for armored cars as well. Apart from that, we have a bunch of new tech.
Yeah.
New special stuff. Or chassis.
Check the stream from last week to find out more about those.
Yes, there may be a lot of secret things hiding around here, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that is going to have to be drawing us to a close. Do you have any final comments you want to offer before we go?
Not really. I mean, I could tell you guys that this Deathland state has been split, in case that wasn't clear already.
Okay.
There might be people who have been wanting that. I've been reading that bit, you know?
There you go. So we got split Sudetenland. Anyway, that is not the end of this stream. That is just the end of this Hungarian section. We're going to take a very quick 2-minute intermission, and we'll be back after that with Historical Germany. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
See you soon. Thanks, Jonathan.
See ya. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, and we are back again. I, as you know, am Mordred Viking, also known as Gareth, but I'm joined here by somebody else. Who are you? And what do you do?
I don't know. Who am I? What do I do here? My name's Daniel. I'm one of the content designers for Germany, the rework. the massive, the behemoth, the big boy.
Huge. How far can you zoom out? Let's see the whole thing.
Oh yeah, no, this is the max I can zoom out.
It doesn't even go the whole way. You have to still scroll.
Yeah.
It's a
And
pretty
like
big one.
and over. Oh man, I wasn't supposed to show that.
The other thing you may be able to hear at the moment in the background is we are playing some of the new German music.
They can't hear it because you and I are talking.
It's still playing.
Yes, but we're talking over it, so they can't enjoy it.
Let's be quiet. Let's just be quiet for 15 seconds.
I gotta be honest. I can't be quiet.
Where's
that
your
long.
patience, dude?
No, I can't be quiet that long. Like I have to talk.
All right.
Honestly, the music for this DLC is just bonkers. It's like
It's awesome.
it gives you a whole different vibe if you listen to that in your headset while doing the dishes. It's fucking epic. I'm sorry.
Those are
PG.
Those are some of the best dishes you will ever do.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so let's show off some historical Germany. Let's take a look at the focuses and run us through this.
Okay, so let's begin at the beginning with the. Wait, this isn't updated. We updated this portrait to not have the cross here.
He now has a tie there instead of the cross. That's
Yes.
gone.
That is gone, so don't worry about that. The cross will be switched out for a tie.
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty standard here. This one you all know and love. Bitter losers. The MIFO builds have received a huge rework. We'll be touching about this in this stream, even though it actually ties into the next week's dev diary for German systems.
So how many dev diaries are there for Germany? 3?
Yes, the historical one, which is the stream for this one, and then we have German systems, where we're gonna discuss MIFO bills, the Inner Circle, Reich Commissariat, and rework the Monroe Doctrine.
Okay.
And then besides and yes, alternative history, of course, which I kind of accidentally showed you a little bit of right now, like a few minutes ago.
A little spoof, you know.
Yeah, I know. I love teasing. MIFO bills, back to the game. The National Spirits have received a massive rework. We'll be talking about this. I don't know how much in depth we're going to go in this stream, but we're going to talk about it. And then we have the Deutsches Heer. This song. I love this song.
I can't hear it.
Oh, you can't. Oh, that's true. It's what I call the Blitzkrieg.
Actually, I have to show you this because it was kind of hilarious. I was trying to wear the helmet with the headset underneath. Didn't work. Then I put the headset on top and I look like the most ridiculous tank commander. It does not work.
Accurate.
So we're taking that off.
I love this song, especially when it just hits the Blitzkrieg part of it. Anyways, speaking of Blitzkrieg, Deutsches Heer. Germany was more about tactics rather than strategy.
Mm-hmm.
After the First World War, they focused a lot on tactics, while Britain and France focused more on strategy. I'm sorry, this song is so good.
So it was more micro versus macro.
Yes, exactly. So they didn't, fancy logistics and supply at all. Like they kind of looked down on officers that went that route and ignored their warnings. Like I think it was the German general George Thomas or something like that that warned the high command that German oil will run out like in October or something like that after when they were planning Barbarossa.
Mm-hmm.
So he calculated that they had fuel to last up until like October or something. I think it was off by 1 month, but
Close.
yeah, high command disregarded that and just went on. So hence the supply efficiency debuff.
Okay.
Kriegsmarine, it's the Navy spirit. They compared at least to Britain, they didn't have as strong a navy. They didn't have as good ships, I'd argue. Like Bismarck, good, yes, but Britain still had better.
Yeah, and more.
Yeah, and definitely more. The ace up in their sleeve was the submarines,
Yep.
which nearly broke Britain. I mean, that's the one thing Churchill worried about.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the Battle of the Atlantic was very real and quite dangerous.
Yes. And then we have the Luftwaffe, headed by Göring. Hands off the debuffs here.
There's a lot. Yep.
Yep, because Göring was quite a figure. Anyway, so that's the starting spirits. And let's look at the focus tree here. I'm sorry, chat. I love this song. And I've ruined it all for you by talking over it. Anyway, so here's the army branch. And as you can see, the big choices you have to make is going with tanks or focusing more on infantry and artillery.
So the Prussian legacy versus the new Panzer doctrines.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, both are what you can consider the within the tactics of Bewegungskrieg. It's just the old form of Bewegungskrieg, or you adapt to the new technology,
which in English is movement war.
Yeah, exactly.
War of movement.
Yeah. And, I mean, looking at this is develop modern maneuver warfare. That's the first focus in this branch. And here, if you do adopt new Panzer doctrine, you can unlock Heinz Guderian and Rommel. Both actually owed a lot of their future positions, titles to Hitler. Which is kind of why we locked them here.
Yeah, which is actually an interesting one. If you just open up the generals at them right now, because we can show that the Germans start off with quite a fewer generals than usual. You now have to actually get them to the focus.
The thing is, I don't think they do.
No?
I mean, they start with a lesser few. But we've also added a few of them. But yeah, this is completely different. Rundstedt and Klüge aren't field marshals anymore. We have this new guy, Werner von Blomberg, which actually got sacked by Hitler, or if he just was forced out of command in 38 with the Blomberg-Fritsch crisis or scandal. So a lot of the generals that used to appear here are now locked behind focuses.
Yeah.
But here we have Werner von Fritsch, which is a new guy, and Oswald Lutz, the mentor of Guderian, and kind of pushed him to write Achtung Panzer. But other than that, that's the 3 new phases you start with, yeah. And then you can get additional ones.
Yes.
But the new ones we won't talk about today.
Okay. Back to the focuses. And on to air.
Yes, air. One of the interesting things we're doing with this expansion is adding a feature called raids, and you can actually unlock one of those here, called the Paratrooper raid on Eben Email. Eben Email is one of the big fortresses in
just outside
Belgium.
Liège.
Where is it?
Just outside of Liège.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Okay. And by completing that raid, you'll get bonuses towards invading Belgium, I think. I think you have some kind of river crossing bonus, and you can lower the defenses of the actual fortress.
Because in the Belgian focus tree, you can invest quite heavily in defenses and things, and this basically allows Germany just to hit the off switch and give them a little bit of an opening to punch through them.
Yeah. And here you can this is general improvements in research and stuff like that. This institution, Aeronautical Research Institute, was founded in 36, I think it was, and went undetected by the Allies until the end of the war, if I remember correctly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so you get a tech bonus here, and breakthrough progress for aerodynamics and avionics, which is the new special projects facility for air and rockets. And then you can choose how you want to like gear towards which way you want to gear your Luftwaffe, with dive bombers, tactical bombers, or strategy bombers. And all of these are unlocking aces as well, like real aces. I'm pretty sure that Germany has the most aces of any country.
Yes, I believe that's true.
I think you get 4 here, 4 unique ones here, 4 unique ones here, and in this one you get a bit of both. You get 3 unique ones here and 2 unique ones down here. So that's quite a lot. And here you can invest a lot in rocket technology, adding the wonder weapons, national spirit, and we wanted it to be called Wunderwaffe, but because of reasons, that's not possible.
Lost one of the best focuses.
Yes, the Belgian ones. Do you want to?
No.
No.
Oh, it's too painful. It's too raw.
Yeah, I know, man. But the icon's still left.
The icon's still there. Yes.
It looks delicious.
You'll just need to wait and see the Belgian stream.
It's more anyways, here you can form the Jagdwaffe, generating more aces and agility. And if you want to get rid of the debuffs for the Luftwaffe, these 2 are focuses are the way to go. But you can't have Hermann Göring as air chief, and they'll improve your.
Oh, so you actually have to get rid of Göring to improve it.
Yeah, well, I mean, or not hire him.
Ah, okay.
Because, I mean, this is since long before, right? He could become an air chief of Air Force.
Yep.
But he has his own unique trait now, Reich Marshal. So he'll give you production cost bonuses.
And their superiority, that's a pretty good combo.
It is. I mean, he's not bad at all. But if you improve the Luftwaffe, you can unlock this guy, Helmut Wilberg, who was like one of the guys that developed the German air doctrine. But he was, I think his mother was Jewish, so he couldn't climb higher in the hierarchy. But he was so good that Göring made sure, that he was seen as Aryan.
Cool. On to the Navy.
Yes. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry for all the botched words.
It's fine as long as we don't make a habit of it all the time. Like
But that is my habit. That's how I wake up every morning.
I mean, to be fair, that's usually how I feel when I wake up.
You see. Anyway, so the Marine, the Navy works quite differently from the other branches. Like here, you have the big choice between Panzer or artillery and infantry. Here you have the small choices, but can't have Göring if you want to improve the Air Force. Here you can do all of this. Well, I mean, except these 2; those are mutually exclusive. But the thing is, once you've started with Plan C, you lock all of these focuses from being completed until you've done the High Seas Fleet. Once you've done the High Seas Fleet, you can't do any of the other ones if you haven't done them already. So if you do expand Kriegsmarine Werft and then High Seas Fleet, you can't do Großkampfschiff construction or construct aircraft carriers.
Okay. So you basically need to choose your level of investment before switching strategy.
Yes, exactly. You got to kind of know and plan what you want here. And trade interdiction is, of course, the historical path, so to speak. We get the Rudeltaktik, which makes your submarines more lethal.
Interesting.
And with the U-boat efforts, you can make them go room faster.
And that HDV MIO is really nice.
Yeah.
I was abusing that slightly when I was playing a historical run.
And speaking of historicity, let's see. This works way more here. If you just look at all the nice banners we have here.
Yeah, some of you may be wondering what on earth those are. Like, what are they?
The frames here, the banners with the spotlights just shining up on them. That's kind of to guide players to historical focuses, events, and decisions.
So you still choose the order that you want to complete these in, but this is saying this is what happened historically, and you should, if you want to stay historical.
Yeah,
do these.
exactly. And like you can toggle them on and off to your heart's content.
Yep.
I like them on because I think they look so cool.
They're just really helpful. They kind of guide your eye.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't necessarily do it, it still helps kind of map out where different things in the focus tree is. Because we acknowledge this thing is big, and it can be very easy. Well, it's not very easy. It's actually much harder than I expected it to be, but it's possible to get lost in this thing. And the historical focus icons do actually kind of help ground you and kind of say, hey, this is the navy bit, this is the political bit, this is the diplomatic bit, whatever.
So we have the industrial branches here. And I say branches because you have a choice to either prioritize economic growth, which will just ruin your economy to begin with, but then you can slowly build it up until you get the Wirtschaftswunder, which is
stronger.
Yeah, exactly, stronger. The Wirtschaftswunder, that's economic miracle, which Germany had in the 50s, which this branch is very loosely based on. But you know, lowering taxes, house development, workers' right, abolish price controls, all of that is, you know, things that actually did happen. And then you have the common focuses here with the Reichsautobahn, which you all know and love from the old tree. Won't have to talk anything
Maximum
about that.
infrastructure is nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. And then you can build the dam. I think this is one of the few focuses, if not the only focus, that actually adds a dam to a focus.
Yeah, Belgium has one where you can destroy a dam, but...
Oh yeah, but that you can destroy all the dams.
That's true, with raids, yes.
Yes. And here you unlock your 5th research slot, but you'll have to have 50 civilian factories to do so. And historically speaking, Germany implemented the 4-year plan, which was all about achieving self-sufficiency and to start rearming.
And what is self-sufficiency in German?
I don't know, autarky?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it means.
Okay, I thought that they had their own word for it. I mean, I know there's autarkia. No, it is pronounced autarky as well.
Yes.
Because it's E.
Yes.
Yeah. E-A. No? English is not my first language.
Technically, it's not my first language either.
Well, your second language is better than mine. Anyways, so the thing with MIFO bills. I said we'd return to this. As you can see here, consumer goods factories factor will increase by 3% each month. And once you hit 100%, you're going to suffer more penalties. And this is obviously going to take up each month. Let's just hope and pray that we can.
It was tested earlier, so yeah.
Yeah.
We had an issue earlier where the game would immediately crash as soon as you unpause.
Yeah, or just not, have the time go at all.
Yeah.
Just, froze. Was insufferable. Like, and this close to
Release is kind of terrifying.
It is. Oh yeah, look at that. That's February. Let's see. We have 13%. And I forgot to note this, but
You start at 10.
you start at 10.
Yeah.
There are though ways where you can fix this. So let's just speed run through this. You do the 4-year plan. You do the autarky effort, which will give you a new unique trade law for Germany called autarky, which is kind of supplementing limited export. So let's do that. And let's just check it out real quick. So you have construction speed, research speed, resource to market plus 15% as opposed to this 25%. So it's one step below limited export, one step above closed economy.
Yeah, so it's filling in the middle ground between the two without being fully closed.
Yeah, but you can't do free trade or export focus anymore. This, though, will lead down to institute price controls.
And having played this, I can highly recommend you get this one early.
It is good. It is good. I would say it's critical.
Yeah, I would say it's critical.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first stats here isn't too good because who likes the price control and government regulation to this extent. But this will reduce the increase in consumer goods factories factor each month by 0.5%. So let's do this. Boom. And what happens? You have 2.5% instead of 3% each month. But this will also unlock the price control measures decisions.
Give us one example then. Yes.
Yeah, so you can all of these will some of them will have some negative penalties like stability, and I think there's one for well, I mean, so the cheaper they are, the worse the penalties are.
Mm-hmm.
But like launching Guns Before Butter campaign is just only good, and it will reduce 5% consumer goods factories factor. So let's take a look here. We had 13% here, and let's just take this decision. Boom. And let's go over here, check out the MIFO bills. Oh, wait, might have to
Unpause.
Yeah, 1 day has to go by, and then you have 8%.
Nice.
So this is how you control your economy if you go with the 4-year plan.
Sure.
And keep the MIFO bills.
Yes.
This is how you keep it down. It'll cost you some PP. And as you can see, you don't have all that many decisions to take. So sooner or later, you will have to go to war.
Why is that?
Why? I'll show you why. Denmark.
Such a Swedish thing. Who do we declare war on? Denmark.
Denmark. Okay, let's for the glory of the German nation. Yes, of course. And rearmament has always been our goal.
So this replaces MIFO with Economy of Conquest, which does what?
I mean, it does the same thing.
Okay.
It allows you to rearm faster. It has a cooler icon. But I think I pressed the option in the event too fast, because what you oh damn, I have to kill them now. What you will see, let's just do this. Yes, and now let's move in with our.
There's boats.
Oh no, boats don't go on land, people.
Unless you're
just FYI.
Unless you're Japan.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yay! Great news. Let's take it on. Finally, getting rid of Denmark. That's been my dream all along. And here you can see seize gold reserves. This is you can only do if you have Economy of Conquest. And let's see here. You have 8% of consumer goods factories factor.
You've also lost the benefit of price controls because it's back up to 3%. I noticed.
Oh yeah, but no, that's not because I'm missing out on price controls. That's because I am occupying states. The monthly increase will be higher based on the amount of non-core states controlled by the German Reich.
I need to check my Germany game, or I've just taken over the Soviet Union, because that's now going to be terrifying.
Oh yeah. I mean, it'll go up to, I can remember, 2.5% extra, I think.
Okay.
It's based on how many extra states you control.
Sure.
So anyways, the important thing here is that the consumer goods factories factor is 8%. And let's seize all of the Danish gold reserve. And let 1 day tick by, and let's check out the economy. Okay. Oh yeah.
So what exactly is the purpose of this Economy of Conquest? Like, what are you trying to replicate here?
Like, since Germany instituted the MIFO bills and built their entire economy and rearmament around that, it nearly crippled the economy. Like, they more or less had to go to war when they did, or else the Mifo bills would just have crushed the economy. It would have led it to an economic crisis.
So it allows you to build up Germany very, very quickly, but at the cost of you have to attack people, which
Yes.
for a World War II game is pretty good narrative builder.
Yes. And like what they did to keep afloat during the war was just, seize gold reserves.
Yeah.
And other stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what this system is meant to represent.
Okay.
Like, and you, yeah, the thing is that the country has to capitulate before you can do this. So like you can be halfway to Moscow, but you still won't be able to seize their gold reserves until they capitulate.
Yes, you can still be at war with them. They can still be in a faction, but they have to have capitulated.
Yes. Which, comes in handy if you take France, because they have quite a few factories. Oh yeah, one other thing, that gold you can seize is based on the factory numbers in a country.
So take out a small country, you get a little bit of gold. Take over a big country like the Soviets or the Americans, that's a lot of gold.
There's a lot of gold.
That's so much gold.
Yeah. And you can get rid of the Mifo bills or the economy of conquest by achieving autarky. I mean, you'll have to have a lot of resources to do so, but once you're self-sufficient, and you won't need these pesky schemes.
And I just want to point out, we're not talking about Reichskommissariats this evening, but part of the reason you may want to use Reichskommissariats is because you don't have the penalty to extracting resources, which you may need for autarky achieved. So it is actually going to be in your benefit to start puppeting people for that.
Yeah. So, political branch. I know we're running over time here.
Yeah.
But, I love talking.
So speedrunners, you've got like 10 minutes.
You can remilitarize the Rhine. You can do the Anschluss, and then you can. Oh no, that's that's the hidden communist branch. And then you can take out USA, and that's it. That's the political branch. No, but like what we try to do.
World War II in a nutshell.
You can go to war with Soviet, of course.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, we've tried to keep the core of the old tree still here. So you have the Anschluss, you have the demanded Sudetenland, First Vienna War, fate of Czechoslovakia. It's all here. Operation Weserberung around the Maginot, War with France. This is new. I mean, everything after War with France, almost everything after that is new, I suppose, except the reintegrate Luxembourg and Alsace.
Tannenbaum was there as well, I think.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, that's true. So like we've tried to keep the core, the essence, and just expand on it. So you can expand your claims into the Baltics, which I love to do. I just love to steal those nations before Soviet gets to them.
It's free gold.
Yeah, it is. Like, I love the gold.
I love gold.
And then you can influence the Baltics if you just want to sway them and make them fascist. You can do the same thing here with the Nordics. Here you can put the squeeze on Sweden, and although you will have to control Nordland and the port of Narvik, and then you get the resource rights.
Yeah, was that this bit? If you go after Norway and you take out northern Norway, so you get, that is this, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you get the
resource rights, which a lot of tungsten and
there was a specific thing about attacking Norway. I don't think it was.
Oh yeah, I think somewhere.
Go to Weserberung.
It
was this. Yeah. So if you fully control Nordland, then you start getting offshore civilian factories over time to a maximum of 8 just by controlling Nordland. So this gives you a reason to really go after Norway and northern Norway.
Also, like with La Resistance, you have the heavy water facility, which will now give you breakthrough points in nuclear research.
Right, and one of the cool things about special projects, if you go in nuclear, is you can make a choice whether you want to go with uranium refining or heavy water as part of the special project.
So that's cool. And like another thing that will impact your game is like if you want to do the historical route and reorganize the Wehrmacht and appoint Ribbentrop to foreign minister, and that's the way you do the Ribbentrop Pact and treaty with the USSR and eventually temporary alliance with the USSR. It's only valid for 2 years because I mean, the communist Soviet and fascist Germany would never be friends.
No, it would break down eventually.
Yeah.
So this is a good way of representing that.
Yeah, I mean they'll be friends by circumstance for a while until they're not friends anymore. Or you can heed von Neurath's concerns, which might lead the Soviets to not be as friendly.
Oh,
I mean, we'll see. Maybe.
possibly.
I mean, you'll only find out by playing the game.
Yes. When can you do that again?
November 14th, I think.
Yeah, November 14th. Götterdämmerung.
Yeah. I mean, you can play it afterwards as well. It doesn't have to be November 14th.
All on that one day. That's all you get it for. That's not true.
Yeah. No.
Do not quote me on this.
Ooh, what's that? I don't know.
They can't see it because it's behind the portrait.
Nice.
Great spoiler, hiding it so well that it's behind our face. Hang on.
Yes.
Let me just do the thing because I can actually show that. Get rid of the portrait. Ooh. Oh no.
You can still see the
There we go.
TT.
It's
TT, that's a tooltip.
Ah.
And here you can, focus more on Asia and stuff by befriending Japan or China.
Do you want to center it a bit more?
It is centered. More there.
There you go. Then they can.
I
see
mean,
a
I
bit more.
suppose, if I do that, you can see the entire branch. Oh no, what's this?
Okay, so is there anything else that you want to show off specifically for the historic branches? Like we've done the generals, admirals, air marshals,
Air marshals?
as in the not actual air marshals. We don't have
The
another
chief of
leadership.
airs?
Yeah, chief of air. that's
I
it.
mean, we looked at Göttingen.
Yes,
and
we
we
did.
looked at Helmut Billberg.
Yeah.
We have one more chief of navy, Rolf Karls, which was Erik Reider's recommendation actually when he resigned or was forced out. He recommended Karls, but Hitler went with Dönitz instead. And chief of army. Ooh, this is another alt history thing.
Hang on. We're being told to say hi because people think that this is pre-recorded. This is not pre-recorded.
This is pre-recorded.
This is maybe pre-recorded.
Definitely not pre-recorded.
Hi.
No.
Okay, there we go. Carry on.
So this dude that Hitler sacks with reorganizing the Wehrmacht, you can hire as chief of army if you want to. If you do the Prussian artillery doctrine. I've never seen that focus. Let's see. No Prussian artillery. No, I don't know. It must be somewhere else. Hidden. Another things. Germany has a poop ton of MIOs.
Yes, including the assault guns that we were just showing off in the Hungary stream.
Oh yeah, cool. And then you have all the Navy stuff here. You have like all the planes. and no, where's my helicopter?
Do you have to do a focus for it?
Didn't have used to.
Manu!
Manu is the other content designer that worked on this. Wait, let's just see here. Experimental rotorcraft.
Grab that one, just see what happens.
Start. Or else we have goofed up somewhere.
I think we may have goofed up somewhere.
I'm not gonna blame me.
No, it's because we're still waiting for some of the artwork for the helicopter MIO, so it's probably not properly implemented yet.
Anyways, there's gonna be a helicopter, early helicopter MIO here
Which
as well.
3 countries get access to: Germany, Belgium, and the USA.
You see, that's cool. Military industry. Oh yeah, we have armored car design, support equipment.
People are asking to see the rat.
Ratte. Yeah, that's
I'm just pointing people up.
Wait, didn't they show that off in the special project?
Yeah, haven't you already seen this?
Show the
I think we should show the rat.
Okay, let's see. Is it? Oh,
Instant.
I can't spell. Inst. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can
You
do
probably
that.
need breakthroughs too.
And this is new thing for Germany as well. exclusive to Germany, the Reichswerke conglomerate, which, you know, adds...
It was not shown, so yeah, this will be the first reveal of the Ratte.
No way. Should we wait 2 weeks for the alt history? It feels like alt history. No, let's do it. And here, research, the tab here, you can see it's divided now between the ordinary research icon and some kind of, I don't know, facility. And if you right click,
This is a big thing. Like if you right click on that icon, like this is a hotkey for you all to remember. Right click that icon and it brings you to the
let's see.
projects.
Left click. Okay, research tab. Okay, cool. Right click.
Right.
Super duper Henry secret facility thing. Let's do the the Edward Götterdämmerung, the one who actually designed the envisioned.
Let's bring in Big Ed.
Military. Super.
You're gonna need breakthrough. So if you do,
Oh wow! Look at all the pretty finalized art. This is so finished.
generally if you see pink in the game, it's work in progress. And again, this is a work in progress. We're still working on this stuff.
Has research super heavy tank. Yeah.
So research all.
You can do just research all.
Yeah.
Like that?
No, with a space.
Mm-hmm. Like that?
No, with a space.
Just space.
An actual space. Boom.
Oh wow. Oh look, we do have a cool art for this. Sweet.
Yes, we do. It's only the question mark because you haven't discovered it yet. So it's going to be a question mark, just not a pink one.
I don't think I can do it because you need
you need to do BR. No, sorry, SP_BR space 5. Space.
I did that.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. See.
Look, I did. See.
No,
See. So where are you? Ratte.
Yeah, you got instant already on. And then the other thing you want to do is console command, then IC, and then you can make one instantly.
I see.
IC. And then unpause.
Oh, okay.
And there it is.
Ooh, let's see what we can build. Gotta be in the tank. Oh, super heavy. Oh my god.
Land cruiser. That's
Look at that. Let's go with heavy.
that's the super heavy. That's not the Land Cruiser.
Wait, what? Did you?
There's an even heavier one, which is the Land Cruiser.
Oh, how could I? How could I miss that?
You went for the big boy.
Wow! Look at that.
So yeah. Just look at the model. The model's cool.
Oh yeah.
How's that for a tank, everyone?
That's a tank.
How's that?
That's a proper tank.
That's a proper tank. And then what can you do on this tank? Like there are various options that you have. So for example, here we're looking at the additional ornaments. So you can stick like assault guns, light anti-air.
I want to protect this shit from fucking fudging airplanes. High velocity. This is just ridiculous.
And then you can put on like
I gotta have radio, right?
Radio. You can put helipads. You can put aerial catapults.
External features, armored obstacle clearance gear. Yeah, that sounds cool. That's so cool.
That's the crane, yeah.
Max speed.
And then you can also change these two around.
Engine.
I mean, that's, yeah.
This is just fluff.
Hang on. Change the turret, because there are different types of turrets. You can have heavy anti-air platforms. You can have heavy naval guns. You know,
I'm going with the.
And then you can change the primary armament or secondary armament as well. You can put a railway gun on here if you want. Sure, why not? Whole mounted railway gun.
Yeah, let's do that. That's cool. Save.
And then there you go. There's the Ratte, which you can now produce.
Boom.
It is a fast tank, apparently.
I mean, it needs all the speed it can get.
And it's not expensive at all. 8 factories is 288 steel.
Wow. Okay, instant construction. Is that just IC?
Yeah.
No, I already did that.
You already did that.
Okay.
And then unpause and you just start pumping those out.
Okay. Let's see. Can I add this to?
You need XP, so console XP.
I'm sorry for going over time. Look at that. Land Cruiser. Yes.
And then I think if you change the icon, you can change that to the Land Cruiser icon. If memory serves. Right at the bottom there. Ratte. And there you go. That's now the icon of that unit on the map.
Did I save it?
I think you need to close this and open it again because you added the experience afterwards.
Oh, that's so. Yeah. Land cruiser. Let's go with the Ratte. Die Ratte?
You went past it.
Did I? Ratte 2. Ooh, Ratatouille. Okay. Let's see.
And just change one of the units from infantry to
I have it.
Oh, you have one? Okay, and there it is.
There you go, folks.
The bad boy himself. And I think that's probably all that we wanted to show you for today. We'll end on this high.
What? No, I want to watch this. What? Look at that. Oh, yeah. The big boy.
So thanks everyone for watching. We do hope you've enjoyed this little showcase of Hungary and very historical Germany. Super historical. So thanks from me. Thanks for Jonathan. Thanks also from Daniel.
No thanks from me.
Okay, fine. And we'll see you for the next stream. I'm not actually sure when that is.
Next Friday.
Next Friday. So
every Friday, I think.
Every Friday until release, which is on the...
Was it like 14th of February?
No, I think it was a bit sooner than that.
October?
Later.
November!
That's the one.
14th of November.
Of November. So we'll see you all for that. Thanks everyone for watching and see you soon.
Jawohl!
Auf Wiedersehen!
Ja.
Tot ziens!
Cheers!
Where's the end?
I don't know. You never
Ending
end.
screen.
That's the